In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to double your damage on the Vortex, guys, or at least increase it substantially. Now, maybe you've seen the video that I posted over a week ago where I showcased my Temporal Vortex team, and I mentioned I'm planning to do a lot of changes in order to increase my damage. Well, I've done all that, and I more than doubled my damage, okay? Of course, I summoned a new champion since, which it does help quite a bit, but I'm gonna show you how to gear your heroes, what gear sets are really bringing damage to the Vortex, what artifacts to use, and of course, I'm gonna share with you guys a couple of different tips. Before we move over to talk about all that, guys, a quick intermission here. We have a Dragonheir Silent Gods giveaway, guys. So at the moment is happening in my Discord. If you haven't joined my Discord server just yet, the link will be in the description down below. I'm gonna put it in the pinned comments for you guys as well. Basically, you're gonna have a chance to win 2 Heliolite dice, wire marrow enough to purchase another Heliolite dice, and you're gonna get some scrolls as well. All you gotta do is be in the Discord server and make sure you are reacting to the giveaway channel right here with this emoji. You see, you've done that, and you're gonna be able to enter the giveaway, of course. And I'm gonna leave the giveaway because I don't want to take part in it. This is actually made for you guys. Now, when you are joining the Discord, you're gonna have to read the rules section and react with this emoji if you wanna gain access. If no, you're gonna see nothing, just the rules and the welcome page, nothing else. So the channels for Dragonheir are here. We have a bunch of awesome people already in there, guys. So if you want to have a chance to win some goodies in Dragonheir Silent Gods and maybe summon your most wanted legendary champion, make sure you're jumping in the Discord, guys, and join in the giveaway if you want. Plus, we're gonna host many other giveaways in the near future, guys. We're gonna try to do them every couple of weeks, basically. So if you click over to the Temporal Vortex, going back to the main topic of today's video, you will notice right here that we have some weekly modifiers. Let me just quickly move a bit my head out of the way. So these weekly modifiers right here, guys, at the moment, bosses take 30% more fire damage. The ally with the highest accuracy on the team grants damage reduction to the entire team, providing damage reduction up to 20%. This is a very good modifier for my team. I have a fire element team, and I'm doing a pretty solid damage. Now, this starts to have multiple multipliers once you're gonna reach the higher difficulties, you see? Difficulty 1, difficulty 2 has no multiplier. Yeah, you can call them multipliers. And then if you click on the icon right here, it's gonna show you what we have next week, the following week. Bosses take 35% more damage from melee units. My Tunnel Nun is gonna go ham. Then, when an ally with a shield is attacked, they deal damage equal to 30% of consumed shield to the attacker. Reflect damage from shields. My team will go crazy next week. I'm expecting to deal more damage than I'm doing this week because of the modifiers. I'm using a shield, and it's actually very solid to keep my team alive. But always keep an eye for this. Try to bring in some heroes that might help you in here, you know? Now, these guys right here already deal crazy damage. A lot of them are my clanmates, actually. We have Arsalan with 317 million damage. Very, very nasty damage. So if we're gonna head over to the run, guys, I'm gonna show you my team. Not much changed in terms of champions since last time when you've seen this team. How you've seen probably in the video the other day where I summoned, I got Reyta. Awesome hero. I'm loving her. She's such a game changer. Now I'm gonna explain you why I have this artifact on her, and at the same time, this artifact is useless on her, okay? So this artifact does absolutely nothing except giving me accuracy and extra stats. But let me just quickly walk you through my team. So I have Furbart right here. He will be the tank, decrease attack. He's gonna bring me as well healing, okay? So he's the main source of healing for my team. Plus, he's gonna tank the single target hit from the boss. He is built on a ancestral protection set, and basically this set brings damage reduction. Now, you cannot stack multiple sets, and this is very important if you want the rest of your team to survive longer, because he will take 15% of the damage from the allies, and at the same time, he will gain a 15% damage reduction on his own. So he will be able to tank very, very well for your team. I'm running at the moment on him the Scarab Amulet. This is something that I always intended to run, but I wasn't able to get the right accuracy on the hero. Now, how you may notice, I got some upgrades on the gear that gives me the accuracy that I need, and I'm able to change the artifact from the Witch's Remains to this. Then, if we're gonna go over to Rita, the new addition. For whoever is not familiar what she does, basically she has decreased attack, she has attack penalty, the passive brings in damage reduction, and this skill right here fully cleanses and give me increased defense, okay? And extends the duration of debuffs by 5 seconds. I cannot explain how good this part of the skill is. I knew that I want to get this legendary, it was on my most wanted list to get the legendary. But oh boy, I'm so happy that I got her. She's just so freaking good, you know? So she definitely helped my team quite a bit. Now she is on a Brotherhood Spirit set. This set at 3 pieces, of course you're getting the skill haste, you're getting the accuracy on 2 pieces. But at 3 pieces, after the wearer unleashes their ultimate skill, all allies obtain 15% increased attack for 10 seconds. So you want to time this so your heroes will have increased attack to just drop in a lot of damage. If you're hearing any sort of explosions here, guys, they're going mental outside with fireworks and stuff. So that's why you're going to hear maybe some background noise every now and then. Then we have Adolphus, guys. He's another champion that will keep my team alive. He will give me a lot of help in here, and basically he's going to shield my team. Him as well is on a different set. He requires enlightenment. He's on a radiance set. Basically he's gonna get to heal himself as well and have that extra enlightenment. As an artifact, I have a Athenaeus Tiara, which will give me more enlightenment and 15% more shield. I haven't really found a better artifact in the epics or rare ones that will benefit this champion more than this, okay? So I decided to try and max it with whatever Essence of Creations I had, just to get more stats on him, and 15% more shield is actually pretty damn good. Now, how I mentioned, this Crown of the Unclean doesn't do nothing on my Raja because she doesn't actually attack with the ultimate skill. So if you don't attack the target, you don't really have a chance to land the debuff. She's only here to give me the 72 accuracy and the defense. I could use a different one that gives me accuracy, but again, that won't benefit the hero at all. And no matter what artifact I'm gonna put on her, it's not really gonna help me at all, okay? So let me just be straight honest. I have nothing that can help me in here without messing up my tuning. Then I have 2 damage dealers. So I'm gonna start with Erich. This is the free legendary that everybody gets, and the main thing that you will want to use on your heroes, guys, on your damage dealers, is a Gambler set. The Gambler set is going to skyrocket your damage, okay? Because when you have a 3-piece equipped, when the wearer deals damage, they have a 30% chance to deal 5% target's current max HP through damage up to 200% of the wearer's attack. So basically, you're gonna deal enemy max HP damage with this set, on top of the damage that you're already dealing. So this really pushes your damage to the next level. Now, one thing to keep in mind, guys, I actually decided to use the scrolls that I had on my Erich just to bring the cooldowns down so I can actually use a defense down artifact on him. If you don't have the Witches Remain, the Crown of the Unclean is the best artifact to use on him. Now, when you are using an artifact that lands a debuff, you require accuracy. I had to sacrifice damage stats on my Erich to gain accuracy to ensure that he will be able to land defense down. Now, one thing to keep in mind right here is that it doesn't actually say it in the description, but when the wearer uses ultimate skill to deal damage to the enemy, there's a 60% chance at maximum level to inflict defense penalty. And it's the same for the Crown of the Unclean, just a higher chance. Basically, if your hero has multi-hits, like this one summons 5 meteorites, I have 5 chances of 60% to put the defense down. So it increases my chance substantially to land the debuff compared to Furbar, for example, which had only 1 hit and it had a 60% chance, and that's it. So that's why I decided to scroll my Erich to bring down the complete recharge time and the initial recharge time to a lower level so it matches the rest of my heroes. And I gotta say it, I have 0 regrets. I'll be using this champion for the foreseeable future in different seasons as well, and 0 regrets because he's doing an amazing job. Actually, he's definitely surprising me in terms of the damage that he's doing and how well he's just going with the team that I have at the moment. So keep in mind, you want to use your artifact that lands debuff the defense down on one of your hitters. If you have Tunnel Nun, I would suggest you still to put it on Erich. Tunnel Nun deals a lot of raw damage. Erich cannot equal her damage, so you don't want to sacrifice her damage stats to cripple her. Instead, you want to give her full damage so she goes crazy mode, okay? Again, gambler mode, guys, very, very important. You're getting attack speed at 2 pieces, and then, of course, you're getting the enemy max HP damage. And I'll show you all these stats in a second. Then, as an artifact on her, I have the Eyeball of the Giant. The wearer's ultimate skill gains 20% damage, and it gives me a lot of extra attack, which is massive for Tunnel Nun. You see, I almost have 5k attack on her. This almost looks like great stats, except the crit damage is a bit low because of the substats on my hero, you know. And that's the team that I'm running. I have a preset for it. I'll show you the skill timing. Everything's on 20 seconds. It worked perfectly now. Nuverse actually released a patch the other day. I've done a video on the news where they fixed the timing. So now everything works spot on. And how you may notice, I'm delaying the shield a lot because I needed to start at a specific point to make sure I'm covering the AoE attacks. Then I have everything else spot on. That being said, let's jump quickly in the run. It roughly takes around 7+ minutes for this to do the job. And yeah, let's basically enjoy it. Let's see the damage that we're gonna ramp up from here, of course. So Flurbart just does decrease attack. Erich puts the defense down. Then we have Tunnel Nun, which is like 1 second later than them using the ultimate. And bang, smacking very, very big damage. Then after the defense down is landed, after roughly half a second or a second, we have Rija cleansing and extending the duration of debuffs. The duration of defense down and decrease attack. And that allows me to keep the defense down on the boss for longer and the decrease attack. Plus, I have decrease attack from 2 different heroes. And at the same time, you see I have this stack. Sweet Dread, basically I have a minus 6% damage reduction from the boss because of her passive. The more debuffs I have, the more damage reduction. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of heroes that will bring me a lot of debuffs in here. So I cannot go crazy, you know, with the damage reduction. But it's still pretty good. And everything works perfectly now. Is in tune like a full auto team in Raid Shadow Legends. If you're playing that, I don't have to do nothing else. Everything is tuned to work at the right moment, basically. So that's something that you might have to do yourself. You need to see if your heroes are scrolled, if they have any sort of skill haste. You need to adjust something to use their skill at 20 seconds. 20 seconds is the sweet spot to do a full cycle and to constantly use the skill at the same point. So let's just say the initial recharge time might have to be delayed a few seconds, or you don't want to use it for an entire rotation to have it at the beginning, how I've done with my shield on Adolphus. Then you're going to have to delay it up to 30+ seconds. You're going to have to time that. Just take a timer. It's literally going to take you 1 minute to do it. Keep an eye on it, and you're going to be able to basically see what's happening. Now, in order to reach the total chest on this highest difficulty, you need over 25 million damage, guys. And I've done quite a bit. I'm going to show you multiple screenshots. Of course, there is a bit of RNG here as well. The defense down lands. You might not get as many crit rate hits. You might have an unlucky crit on one of your heroes and die earlier. And very similar with Raid Shadow Legends, actually. When you are building a clan boss team, if your clan boss team gets killed on the AoEs, your team is weak. You need to improve something at it. If your team dies at the stun or at a single hit, then your team is good because they will survive. So you need basically to lose the tank first and then the rest. If no, you need to increase the stats on the rest of your team to have more defense, more survivability, basically. But you see that defense down, now that I've moved that to Erich, is spot on. I actually had no idea that was working like this till some of my clanmates told me, so big shout out to them, that it counts per hit rather than per skill. I thought that was per skill based on the description, so some of you guys might not be aware of that either. But it's just so nice to be able to keep that defense down all the time there because of the multi-hits almost. And you see my Tunnel Nun is going crazy already, and the passive is not even a max yet. You know, she's not at the full stack of crit damage, and she's already hitting over 70k. So we are at stack 25 on the boss. He already ignores a lot of damage. He has a massive stack right here, okay? And we're gonna survive almost till the limit, man, which is just crazy considering that we don't have an unkillable team, you know? Crazy, actually. Having a cleanse is definitely pretty important here. On the 4th difficulty, the boss starts to debuff you with defense down. Some of you might not be aware if you haven't engaged into the highest difficulty. That's why before I really wanted Vikak for my team. If you guys remember, I selected him from the free chest, the $1 chest, my bad. And the main reason was for decreased attack on the battle skill to help my third Bard, and then to have that cleanse and a bit of extra healing, you know? And I gotta give a big shout out to Adolphus, man. Adolphus and his shield is absolutely nutty for this. And not just for this, for all the content. So I'll be doing a champion spotlight on him because I really want to showcase the hero to you guys just to see his full potential and how helpful he can be in the game. It's actually very powerful. Look at that shield. When he gets damage with the shield, you're getting healing as well. So that's very beneficial. That's why I said next week, when we have the next multipliers on the boss, and we're gonna reflect damage from the shield. My god, I'll be doing so much damage because of the AoEs on the boss, guys, when I'm putting the shield. And then Tonalnan, being a melee hero, she's gonna deal 35% more damage on top of what she deals right now. So let's just say at the end of the run, she might end up with 10 million damage, which she has right now. She will end up after with 30% more of that, you know? So it's gonna be like 13 million damage. Very nasty. Actually, no, 13.5 because it's 35%, not 30. So I feel like next week I'll be doing better than this week. And I really want to try my Radiance team as well. I'm in the process of building it. I don't have scrolls for that one, guys. And I have a couple of legendaries for it, which are pretty nasty actually for it. I will try to build it with legendaries and without. And I'm going to showcase that for you guys to see it as well, basically. So right now, I can already tell you I'm minus around 2 million damage from the regular damage that I'm dealing at this point in time. When I'm at stack 60, I'm already at over 23 million damage around there. And I'm pretty behind with it, you know. Yeah, I'm roughly 2 million damage behind. So I'm very curious to see where exactly we're going to end with it. So the Scarab Amulet will keep Flurbart alive. Every 45 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, or 40 seconds, it has a chance to proc again and give him a massive shield when he's about to get that fatal hit, when he's below a specific amount of HP. So that's going to be very helpful. 22 million, almost 23 million damage. So we're looking pretty damn good, actually. Pretty damn good. Look at Tonalnan. 13 million damage. Then we have Erwich with 7.5 million damage. Tonalnan, she's just massive, guys. Like, honestly, she's just so powerful. So we are about to reach the maximum damage. Maximum damage. How you may notice, I almost doubled my damage already. Last time when I showed you, my team was doing roughly 15 million damage. I was barely getting to the chest before this, you know? And now look at the team. It's just going ham. Of course, the new legendary that I summoned, it helps as well. Do not get me wrong. The damage that I was dealing before without the legendary that I just summoned was roughly around 23 million damage. So it helped me quite a bit. But since then, I changed the build on my Erich today because I got the Philosopher's Stones. For whoever is not familiar, if you're doing the Feymander or you're doing Trials of Pillars, you are getting Philosopher's Stones, which basically allow you to change the rarity of a piece of gear, you know? And right there, we lost Flurbart. It's a bit early, unfortunately. Usually, we are lasting a bit longer, you know? And I know some of you guys might be like, that's what she said, Skratch. That's what she said as an excuse, but I'm being for real here. I'm being for real. We just lost Tonalnan there, unfortunately. And look, stack 120. At stack 150, the boss starts to ignore block revive and other things like that. So we're doing pretty well. 29 million damage, and I can tell you that this is on the low side. The highest damage that I've dealt Let me just quickly try to find my conversation and bring the screenshot up so you guys can see it. Is actually going to be more specific and impressive of 32 million damage, guys. There we go. So this was much, much better. Tunnelnum with almost 20 million on her own. Erich with 9.7 million damage, guys. Very impressive. Now, the difference from Tunnelnum to Erich is massive. But of course, the artifacts influence the damage a lot. The stats on them. And Tunnelnum, just generally, she's a better damage dealer. So we're going to save this one, actually. I think I've done like 7 or 8 tries today just to test it. And this is on the low side of the damage. And I waited to do a video before I'm actually saving it, so you guys get to see basically what's happening. So my heroes, Erich. How I mentioned, it's very important to have the Gambler set. Then the other piece can be a broken one, doesn't matter. If I could get 15% more crit rate on him, will be absolutely massive. Now keep in mind, if you want to survive, you do want to have some survivability. So aiming at 1.5k defense should be kind of like the sweet spot. HP 45k plus upwards, and then I have 4k attack on him, 154 crit damage, and I need the accuracy, so 275 accuracy, and this is the artifact, Witch's Remains. Then moving over to the next champion in terms of stats, we have Rheita, and these are the stats: 49k HP, 3k defense, 364 accuracy. The reason why I have such a high accuracy on her is because of the multipliers on the Vortex. Once the rotation is going to change, so next week, I'm actually going to change this artifact. And I'm very honest with you guys, when I'm doing PvE, just dungeons and stuff, I'm using the Rift Hourglass on her because that's helpful. But for the Vortex, I really don't see what could potentially improve my damage or improve anything. Maybe I can get something that will deal lightning damage, you know, like this one, like the Elven Hunters. I don't know, maybe this will give me a bit of extra damage from Rheita. But from what I have right here, nothing will really help the hero, basically, you know. And this set is very important, how I mentioned, the Brotherhood Spirit, guys. Definitely don't sleep on it. Tunnelnum total stats, 58k HP, 1.3k defense. I have a lot of HP on her, that's why she survives. Almost 5k attack, 82 crit rate. She only needs 80% crit rate, 168 crit damage. I would like to get her to like 200 crit damage, but the passive gives her 100 more, and that's putting her at 268 crit damage once she fully activates the passive, you know. Then we have, who else we had in the team? Then we had Furbart, right, as one of the pieces in here. 77, 78k HP, 4.5k defense. The more defense, the more healing we're getting as well. And of course, I have the accuracy, 247, and I have a bit of skill haste. Nothing else really matters. The Scarab King basically gives him a 500% defense shield for 10 seconds when their HP is below 30%. So this is very helpful to keep him alive, guys. And the last champion, the star of the show, Adolphus. Basically, for whoever is not familiar with him, if the target already has a shield when the hero grants them a shield, additionally heals them equal to 75% of the shield granted. Then grants shield to an ally for 10 seconds, recharging their ultimate energy by 15%. Very, very helpful. And right here you have the ultimate skill, deals fire damage to enemies with range and grants a shield based off the target's max HP and enlightenment to all allies. Now you may notice total stats on him: 43k HP, 2.5k defense, 458 enlightenment. So the more enlightenment, the bigger the shield, guys. This will do for my Vortex team, and this will do for how you can actually improve the damage on your team. When we are talking about artifacts, there are a few that you wanna use. The very first priority as the epic artifact, if you don't have a legendary one, should be the Crown of the Unclean to bring defense penalty. Only 2 things in the entire game can do it: the Witch's Remains and the Crown of the Unclean. Put this on your Erich or a champion that has multi-hits on the ultimate skill to increase the chance of landing the defense down. Then there are a few different ones that can be very helpful. For example, we have the Manticore statue. If they have a nice battle skill, this can give a lot of damage. We have the Eyeball of the Giant, very, very powerful. And we do have a few different ones. We have the Volcanic Disc, which gives us ultimate damage as well. Then we have others that increase the passive damage. Now, I have no champion that deals damage based on the passive to have derivative damage from the passive, so I cannot use this. But if you have that, definitely use the Harpist Nails. Like, they are champions that have that in their passives, you know? And of course, you have weaker options. Ancestor's Bone gives you extra crit damage. You have the Elven Hunter's Quiver, which will give you some lightning damage, derivative damage. And the rest are not necessarily that massive. The music box is huge if you have shield like I have on my Adolphus. This is what I used to have on my Erich last time, if you guys remember. Gives you a lot of crit rate, gives you attack, extra damage when you have shield. So it's very, very helpful. Then we have the Antinia's Tiara. We have a few more different ones that are fairly decent. So we have the Platinum Knight Shield, reduces the wearer's AoE damage, which can be very, very helpful at 20%. We have the Banner of Oath, and we have Wine of Dragon Blood, especially on a Dauntless hero. This can be very, very nice. So just keep in mind, you have plenty of options. It really depends what artifacts you purchased, or at least keep an eye on what I showed you guys. Appreciate every single one of you guys watching. Don't forget, if you want to enter the giveaway, head over to Discord, react to the emoji to have a chance to win Heliolite Dices and to have a chance to win Heliolite Dice, guys, and summon your most wanted legendary or epic champion. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Much love, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.